Hello, my name's Hannah Shane, VP of Marketing at SmartBug Media and host of SmartBug on Tap, a weekly podcast that offers short, actionable inbound marketing ideas that you can use right away. On today's episode, I want to get into chatbots, how to set them up, what types of scripts or plays will work best, and ultimately, how to use live chat on your website or in your application as a revenue channel. Let's dive in. So I'm a build it once, build it right kind of gal, which is why I love chatbots. Honestly, they're the type of platform or program that as a marketing team, we can really just tweak and optimize and experiment with a bit. But then once it's up and running, I have full confidence that I can move on and start to work on other programs or projects and have, the faith that, okay, my website is generating leads. I've got this chatbot that's working around the clock and is pulling in leads. Honestly, chatbots can be one of the most powerful tools that you can use to implement as a marketer when it's done right. And you really want to leverage those chatbots as a way or a method to be qualifying leads. They're not necessarily a replacement. I'm not advocating that you only have bots that are taking over the world. They don't replace humans and the need for having a human to human contact or humans talking to your customers, but they are really effective in terms of getting to your clients right away. Because at the end of the day, your customers' goals are to get an answer or maybe talk to a human fast. And that bot on top of your website can be a really good process to get those leads the answers they need right away. Your goal, on the other hand, that might be to provide helpful information to common questions really quickly as well. And then you can start to predict, why are people on your site? What questions have they did they come with, or you're already coming prepared with those answers? And that kind of brings me to some of the best advice that I ever got by one of my mentors was always come prepared to a meeting. And so I kind of bring this philosophy now with me to a lot of different places whenever I'm kind of getting ready for meetings or getting ready for presenting a project. And I like to have my bot thinking the same way. I try to think through what are those questions that are going to be asked and poke holes in my own findings, and then I have the answers at the ready. And this is how you design a chatbot script. So if you're just getting started with implementing chat on your website or just getting started with putting a bot on your site, I think you need to think of those first few months really as a time for conversion optimization, but also start simple. Don't try to do everything under the sun all at once. Really just start small and make some small incremental changes as you go, as you start to build out that full chat experience. Just to paint the picture a little bit more clearly, I can walk you through what our chat experience looks like on SmartBug's website. And it's just an example. I want mind you, there's loads of brilliant methods out there for how chatbots are designed or how chat experiences work. And what we're using is just working for us today. So my first piece of advice is, if you're going to use a bot on your site, make sure your visitor knows it's a bot. Name the bot. We call ours SmartBot. I really like how HubSpot, I think they have theirs called HubBot, I want to say. I could be wrong about that, but it's, the bot itself is named, it's characterized, it's got its own photo or profile image. And that makes it really clear when the website visitor is on your site that you're not tricking them. You're not trying to make them think they're talking to a human. And then you can, have the experience when that bot is ready to tee up the conversation with the human. There's a clear handoff. That goes a little bit more smoothly when it's a bot that's talking and then all of a sudden it's the human. It's kind of like the same way you would expect when you're using any sort of chat functionality on Slack. You wouldn't want to be thinking you're talking to your colleague when all along it was actually the Slack bot that you're talking to. So I also recommend that you start the conversation. So give your visitors a little bit of time. If they just landed on your website, don't immediately throw a bunch of pop-ups all over the place on their site, including your chat. But casually, as they're on the site for a little bit longer, maybe 7 seconds long, then you can open it up with a nice chat noise that comes through. I've heard like knock knocks or a ring that comes in. And ours is silent, but it pops up with a friendly a hello and an emoji. And we start with a message of what brings you here today. And another really good practice is to say, hey there. And if you know their name, and you can personalize that with a little waving emoji. And then you can throw out a question of, can I ask you a quick question? Um, our chat experience from that, can I ask you a quick question, would then lead into the options for the visitor is sure, go for it, or no thanks, I'm just poking around. And that kind of creates this warm, welcoming path forward into, yeah, actually, I do need help navigating your website, or help me find the content that I'm looking for really quickly. I think just offering a couple options, not everything right off the bat, will really send them down an optimal path, and lets you start to guide that path of talking towards a human. So right now, on this experience that I'm talking through, where our visitor says, sure, go for it, I'd like to talk with this bot and get some information. Our next phase on our chat experience then will say, what brings you here today? And we have options that go from looking for content, wanting to talk to someone on our recruiting team, looking for potential career opportunities. If they are coming for some of our services or solutions, then it's a conversation about, are you looking to implement marketing services or whatever your product might be? And you have a couple more detailed options there. I actually have it as a fast track that if they indicate that they're looking for those services right off the bat, that we then will tee up. It's a preemptive kind of conversation over to our sales team, and we get flagged now through Slack, which is the tool that we all use internally for chat. So I'm warned, hey, somebody, a potential prospects on your site, and I see that conversation starting in Slack. The bot hasn't handed them off yet. They'll do a couple more validations where they'll look for email address, name, and business information, so company name. And then once they've provided all of that, and it does some data validation, so if they enter a fake email or a fake company name, the bot will say, that doesn't look right. But for frustrated users, it just tries to autocorrect once, and then if they still would like to bypass, they can. And then if it's during our business hours, we get all the way through. But I really like this process because it protects the team. So me, in this case, I sometimes sit in the hot seat of our chat. So it's not bugging me at all hours of the day. And I set certain business hours for when it's open. And I'm able to kind of really work those leads appropriately, knowing that the chatbot's only handing off really qualified leads to me or anybody else that's in the quote unquote hot seat. Tools wise, I recommend you just keep it simple. So our website's built on HubSpot, therefore we're using HubSpot's chatbot. But if you're shopping around for another chat tool, I've personally used Drift and Intercom. Both are great. They both work really great too if you're bringing your chat experience not only from your marketing website, but then into your, if you're a SaaS company and you're inside your app and you're offering customer support for any sort of product usage. There's a lot of really strong use cases for using chat in application as well. You really want to consider as you're shopping around for those tools what the experience would look like for your visitor, but also for your chat support team. How easy is it for someone to quickly respond, and where are they monitoring those chats that come up? We set up SLAs on our team, so we have an agreement on how quickly we need to respond during business hours. And if anyone's ever on holiday, we switch off on responsibilities so that we know who is responsible for taking on those chats and answering in a timely manner. Which is why the Slack integration has become our godsend. It is our fastest way to get a hold of each other, so it's also our fastest way for our prospects and our customers on our website to get a hold of us. And our prospects don't know they're talking to us through Slack, but on the website, they're just seeing that they've been connected with a human and they want to get answers quickly. The other real quick integration, which I'll touch on more at a later date when I talk about more around intent data, but we plug in additional data from third-party users like ZoomInfo, and that helps us really get a lot of deeper information about the lead that's at hand. So I have this side-by-side view when I'm talking to a lead on our website, And then I can see right away, oh, great, this person looks like they're from this company, this size of industry, or this size of revenue. And I focus on qualifiers like BANT to understand, are they within the right size budget? Does the person I'm talking to have authority? What are they telling me on chat that they need? What's their timeline? And if I can get all of these things pretty quickly without disqualifying them, I send them through right to our sales team right away. And, if that conversation leads to a qualified meeting, then I tend to show off or announce it in a public channel, like our sales and marketing channel, because I love the reverse psychology of doing this. It instantly gives visibility to how well live chat as a inbound marketing channel is working for us, and kind of piques interest. It helps me drive some other kind of sales team members to be willing to volunteer to help out with live chat because they'll get to take on those leads. And it just becomes a really nice way for us to announce the success that our inbound marketing campaigns are having. Well, there you have it. That's chatbot tips in about 10 minutes or so. So I'd love to hear from you what other ideas or questions you have in terms of optimizing your own inbound marketing engine. If you can just shoot them over my way, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at marketing@smartbugmedia.com or tweet me at smartbugmedia. Thanks so much.